Mr. Eggplant presents.
Hey guys, Tyler here, and thank you for checking out this video. And we are going to go under the wall here really quick because we are in Brackenhide Hollow, which is going to be my first Mythic Plus run for the season, at least that I'm sharing with you guys here on YouTube. And this is from the current week. So this is a +8 timed Brackenhide Hollow, and then the affixes are Fortified and Entangling. So we haven't hit that third affix yet. So I was actually supposed to be the Lust here. I did not realize that. So there's a Rage Storm going out. Be sure and purge that off of the War Scourge, and then there will be a Cackle soon after it, and that is an AoE fear that you need to interrupt. So I was supposed to Lust here, supposed to be doing a big pull. I even had a build that was made for a big pull, and I didn't do that. We are going to pull not this pack, but the next pack is when we're going to go ahead and Lust. Unfortunately, it does not have True Shot up during it, so we're going to do a little bit less damage. But here comes a Rage Storm. Unfortunately, I didn't get to it as fast as I'd like. I really want to get on that as soon as possible. That way that your melee are not taking all that extra damage. So we are just going to be clearing up so we can get all 5 of our Tuskar buddies freed, so then we can go and take on the first boss, which is the Hackclaw Warband. So looking at my build in this video, and we'll talk about it throughout, so I am using my standard AoE build, so I am using light ammo. I'm not using heavy ammo. I have been playing around with using heavy ammo to help with some of our boss damage on tyrannical weeks, so that might be something that you see me play around with here in these next coming weeks. But here comes the Lust, so I'm going to go ahead and throw Uclock out. I'm doing less damage because I am technically going to keep my pet out here, but what the heck, it's not the biggest deal in the world. We did see 2 Earth Bolts go out on Mana, unfortunately. Shout out to her. She did a really great job, and she hadn't done a ton of high keys, particularly this season so far. She'd only done some 2s, 3s, and 4s, and she was crushing it tonight, so shout out to her. And then we're just going to continue to chain pull this into some bigger packs, which will be good for our light ammo. Already getting some really good damage and a lot of resets, and that is, like I said a little bit ago, that's going to be the goal, is to try to get as many resets as possible. There was a fixate, so I'm going to go ahead and feign that off, and then I'm going to throw down my binding shot just to make sure that all these humanoids don't go and pull more guys for us to have to worry about. So we're going to finish clearing this, and then we've already got 1 Tuskar free, and there'll be 1 right next to it. And we do have an Alchemist, which is me, and also Tipsy. I realized nobody went and got this Cauldron, but we didn't really need it either, so I kind of wasted a little bit of time there. That's kind of on me. But let's just go ahead and talk about, as I get rid of Uclock there, let's go ahead and talk about my overall damage in this video, and then we'll kind of intermittently talk about the pulls. So overall in this run, I did 423k DPS. That's no buffs from, like a PI, or no buffs from an AUG Evoker. So we did a really nice job. I'm really proud of this run. I hope you guys do enjoy this, and I hope you guys are enjoying your Marksman Hunter so far for Season 4. So I had the Purge that went off. Luckily, we cleared, I should say. Barry can purge it off, and so can I. Technically, so can Twisted as well, I believe, with his. I think Arcane Torrent is still a purge. I guess I don't know for sure. But there, I'm going to drop down some traps because all these guys do have fixates. So if you're a heavy melee group like we were, you could get in a lot of trouble really, really quickly. But we avoided all that for the most part. So there's Rage Storm. So as you saw, as soon as the Rage Storm cast fills, I'm already ready to use my my Trank Shot. That way we don't have to worry about that. Because these guys have a lot of pesky, just random AoE damage they're going to throw out constantly that will constantly chunk you. So because of that, you do want to try to stay healthy. And plus, I'm running with double Blue Silk Lining, so keeping me healthy is the key to doing more damage and killing things quicker. So here I'm going to throw down my trap to avoid the Claw Fighter, and then we're just going to go ahead and move up to, I think we have 3 extra packs that we need to pull, and then we can get to the boss. So like I said, I am using 2 Blue Silk Linings in this run. I have a 76.1% uptime on that, and that's all thanks to me not dying at all in this run. So it made me look much better than I was probably actually doing. And whenever I have that Blue Silk Lining up, one of those is a buff to item level, so it's all the way up to 525, which is my neck piece. So that means I have like almost 1800 free mastery when I'm at 80 or 90% health or more. You do absolutely crazy damage, as you can see here. I just can't wait so we can really get a ginormous pull like we could back like in Everbloom, for example, with all these awesome trinkets, Lust, and True Shot up ready to go. So here we're going to cleave off of the War Scourge, and also I do have the Razageth Neltharax bow, so that means I need to be cleaving off of one target as much as possible. So I'm going to purge off the rage, and then I'm going to be constantly calling out in group chat or in Discord that I'm going to be interrupting the cackle, because that's that priority interrupt that I want to make sure that we get done. And then with Entangled, you can just disengage back. I just kind of ran forward there. You can disengage, and it'll, whether you actually move or not, it doesn't matter. It gets rid of that. So that's something that definitely should be in the back of your head. And right now, I'm already looking at my trinkets, yes, but it's also just still connected to my True Shot since I'm using a Witherbark's branch from last season. I'm just making sure that I have True Shot up for the boss. That's really my goal. I did a pretty good job in this run on bosses 1 and 3. Actually, Treemouth lined up nicely. Gutshot did not, but we still did a really nice job on Gutshot. So here we went for the really risky play of getting really close to this mob. I actually didn't know that there was a pot here for you to get that disease cleanse, but it was a little too close for comfort in my opinion. But we didn't pull it, so it wasn't that big of a deal. And then really quick, these are all going to be Drexit members in the group as well. So we have Tipsy tanking for us on her Brewmaster Monk. Then we have Barry doing the honors healing. This is the first time he's healed this dungeon because he did not do any Mythic Plus or didn't really play much for Season 2. So this is going to be really fresh for him, and I think he did a really nice job as well. And then the DPS crew is going to be Mana on her Fury? Fury? Yeah, I think that's Fury. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Fury Warrior with the Legendary, I might add. Big congratulations to her on that. Twisted on his Havoc Demon Hunter. He's like me. He pretty much plays the one spec, the one class, and excels at it tremendously. And of course myself on my Marksman Hunter. So here I'm looking at my cooldowns. My cooldowns are set up, ready to go, and we are ready to explode this boss. So what I do is we're going to focus on Gnashtooth, and then I will use my focus targeter on Trick Totem. That way I can throw out my my interrupt on that to get an Earth Boat, to get a heal, that sort of thing. So here I delayed my abilities just a little bit so Gnashtooth would get back into the group so I can just cleave on them. So then I'm going to throw down my volley, and then I'm going to go rapid fire, aim shot, rapid fire, aim shot, rapid fire, so on and so forth. And we had a completely juiced to the gills True Shot here. So we have the Fixate that's going to go out from Hackclaw, but we don't really have to worry about it. We just kind of backpedal just a little bit, just strafe a little bit, and you'll get right out of that. You can always use Disengage as well if you'd like. And this is one of those fights that light ammo doesn't get you anything, but heavy ammo is very noticeable in this fight. Here's the totem, so make sure you kill the totem, because otherwise it pretty much makes it so your tank has a bad time. And cannot deal with some of the other mechanics, so we barely got that out of the way. So we want to make sure and have better cooldown usage for that bad overlap. And now we've already got one boss down, and so Trick Totem is next, and then we're going to finally take down Hackclaw. So this fight isn't too crazy on a Fortified week. It's a fairly basic fight, but on Tyrannical you really notice it because those Earth Bolts that are randomly going out hurt. They hurt a lot, and they just happen often. So we did have a death there at the very end. Not a big deal. Unfortunately, Mana got Hackclawed ×2. She dropped one of the fixates and then turned around and got another fixate. So that's kind of hard to deal with. We did have two technical wipes in this run. We're going to see it here in just a few minutes. I managed to kite all the way back, which was kind of fun. Kind of scary, but kind of fun. Then we had some craziness happen later. So if you guys watch anything in this run, I hope you guys will check out right after the Gutshot encounter. Maybe I'll try to put a timestamp down there. We had some mobs that randomly just showed up, evaded, and then brought friends, and evaded, and then like took us to Pound Town. Like it was, they killed us very, very quickly. But we are just moving up here to Treemouth, and I have to say Brackenhide Hollow has a pretty forgiving timer, and I think we wasted probably 4 or 5 minutes in total running back, having issues. We're going to have that happen here in just a second. Maybe too big of a pull, because I think we had some infusions go out, and then there's the big AoE that's on the ground there. There's the circle that's in the group, and then everybody gets nuked by that. So here I'm going to go ahead and throw down my binding shot. I'm going to follow it up with the tar trap here in just a few minutes, making sure, because at this point I'm just trying to keep the pull alive. So there goes the tar trap. I have time to get or I thought I should say had a time to get a cheeky aim shot off that would have definitely killed me. But I'm just running back towards the first boss area at this point. That way Tipsy and the rest of the crew can help me pick this stuff back up. Now, the Rot Singer did drop a totem, and that totem's going to unfortunately nuke Barry here in just a second. So he's going to go up into, or maybe he just gets hit. I think he just gets meleeed, because as you can see there, he had aggro. So he didn't even get hit by the totem, he just got aggro. But Tipsy is here, so I guess I probably should have just died or feigned, but I didn't want to lose the pull. I thought it was all almost dead, so I figured we would just hold on to that. Maybe hindsight's 2020. I should have done that a little differently, but we timed the key, so who the heck cares? And then just going back to my build really quick. So I am using my standard Mythic Plus build, including light ammo. No frills, nothing crazy, no augments to it. I will put that in the description of this video, and in every video I'll give you guys all the information on my build. And then I did have that 515 Neltharax bow from Razageth. I hadn't got it pumped up just yet there, but I did manage to pump it up a little bit more to 519 after this run. My stat line, so I had a little bit weird stat line. I'm actually using a Versatility flask because I had 61% crit with a crit file. Absolutely insanity. Way into diminished returns, just because of how my gear has kind of changed over the last 24 hours, because I have got a ton of upgrades. I have a 522 Neltharian's Call to Dominance I got from Raid last night. I got incredibly lucky. I added the Neltharax bow. I added a new ring, the Platinum Star ring, I believe it's called, from my vault. Didn't get any myth track items, unfortunately, but a ton of huge, like I said it in my update video for each and every week. I hope you guys will check those out as well. That there is just, it's not power creep. Like you are going to just absolutely get double strength every other week. It's crazy. So this next week, we're gonna have, we won't be able to purchase a bullion item, but we will be able to make another embellishment. So I'll have to figure out where I'm moving this other embellishment that's currently on my ring, because the week after that, I will be buying, most likely, the eggnog ring, because I don't think that I'm going to be able, or we're going to be raiding too much longer, because we burn through normal and heroic this week. So unless I'm going to be doing some mythic pugging, which I don't know if I'm about that live, to be honest with you, I think I'm probably just going to be trying to build Mythic Plus. So I'll probably go with eventually both rings as I dodge the frontal there, which is the breath. And so at this point, I'm looking at my cooldowns, and I'm talking to the group, and I'm saying, okay, how many more pulls do we have? And I'm familiar with Brackenhide, but it's the highest key that I did in Season 2, to give you an idea. It's the one I did the most in Season 2 as well. But it's been a hot minute, you know? I've done it with several different groups. I had done it with Carm in her group last time when I had done this. So it's been like 6 months. So I wasn't exactly sure where everything was, like cooldown usage-wise. But I have 2 pulls left, so I know that if I'm going to use my True Shot, I need to use it now. So here, I'm going to send it here in just a second, put out my misdirect, get ready. I'm going to figure out what target I'm going to put I'm going to cleave off of, so I'm going to put my Hunter's Mark on there and then just cleave. So here comes literally full send everything. And this pack absolutely melts. Like, it just straight up melts. I think I got up to 1.5 million DPS. Yeah, I see a 1.5 that just popped up there. That's without Lust, without Aug buffs, without a PI, for example. If I got any of those, I cannot, and get more gear for that matter, I cannot wait to see what our build is going to do. I'm having so much fun in Season 4 so far, even though I haven't done too many higher end keys. So here, I'm just going to wait for those lashers to come out, that way I can get my volley up and cleave. Is it cheeky like pad damage? Yes, but it's also allowing me to cleave on both of the tree targets. So in that line of thinking, it's not too bad, right? But now I'm looking at my cooldown of my True Shot, because I want to have True Shot up for every boss as much as possible. That way I can take advantage of that careful aim bonus zone for my aim shots. So I have 53 seconds right now on True Shot, so I know that we need to kill this ASAP, but I also need to be ready to use that. And then I use my turtle here because I don't have my... I could have used like Binding Shot if I wanted to, so I didn't have to waste turtle, because maybe I needed turtle on this boss, you know, if I needed to soak on behalf of the tank, because you can do that. It's not ideal though, and plus would be a DPS down, so I don't know. I think I'd still probably die on it. But here we go, we're up to Treemouth now, so I put my hunter's mark on the target, and I'm just going to start with a nice simple rotation. I'm going to wait for this first Entangle to come out. I realized that I needed to be the one that lusted, and then I'm going to go ahead and throw down my volley. So I held my volley just a little bit, so my True Shot would be almost off of cooldown. Decay Spray is going to come out, which is going to throw the little dudes on the ground, and they need to die ASAP or they burst. So here comes the True Shot, and then we're just going to go rapid fire, aim shot, and we mow these things down. Like, look at Treemouth's health. Like, he just goes down so quickly. So I avoid the consuming there, so it got hit, or Tipsy got hit on that to soak that for us, and then we are just melting this guy. And I'm able to cleave almost this entire time thanks to my my 4-set, which is the Season 3 4-set gear-wise, but it is still the same tier set for, or I should say tier set bonus for Season 4. So hopefully I'll be able to upgrade that soon. Unfortunately, my volley and my salvo were desynced there, so I deal with that for a little bit. But I'm just going to continue to AoE. Treemouth's almost down. We're at 400k or so DPS for the Treemouth encounter. 420 actually, haha, blaze it. But we are done with Treemouth. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of my pet first thing. Had I been on top of it, I would have, you know, pre-casted the Lust, and then as I was getting rid of Ucklock. That didn't happen, but that's okay. So here, they've changed the way that Stink Breath works. So Stink Breath now doesn't just target one person and just say screw you. It's just a frontal cone that you can dodge. It's a quick cone though, so keep that in mind. And then there's the Violent Whirlwind, and you just stay out of that. And if you are a melee player, melee hunter, you know, whatever, you can melee Stink Breath while he is doing that. So just so you know. So here, we are just going to finish off Stink Breath, which is not nearly as... It's an annoying mob, but it's not nearly as deadly as maybe it could have been in Season 2. And now I'm just kind of letting my cooldowns cool down. Like, I'm going to go ahead and move out of the Entangled there. But Stink Breath is almost down here, and we are going to go up. Alright, so now that Stink Breath's down, we're just going to be heading over to Gutshot, and I am going to make a big mistake. So like I was saying, like, cooldown usage is very important. You want to make sure you have your True Shot up for a boss fight, and I'm not going to have that for Gutshot. So I'm going to send a very fat True Shot here, thinking that we were going to be pulling all of these, and we were not. So here, if you're only going to be pulling one pack, and we're going to melt it because it was an absolutely crazy huge True Shot, and plus these guys don't have a lot of health, to be honest. It was probably not a very good use of my cooldown. In fact, see, look at that, like, I still have like half of my True Shot left. Because of that, I probably should have held that way. I had it for the boss fight, and I had that that damage from my careful aim. But, you know, hindsight's 20/20. We haven't gotten perfect at these yet. At least we're going to pull some more vultures and the bear in here so we can cleave. And then we're going to go ahead and get over to Gutshot. Another good alternative, too, would be, so if there's like a burn phase, like for example on the bird in Algathar Academy, so you don't have to have your True Shot up for when that that boss starts. That's one of those few exceptions. It's the exception, not the rule, but for the rule, most of the part is we want to keep our true shot up and ready for these bosses. So here, the key to this boss, this is another one of those bosses where heavy ammo can really do a ton of damage, but I mean, you do need to kill the hyenas. It makes your life easier, but it is kind of pad damage at the same time. So I'm still trying to find a good spot for me here to stand. I usually stand over behind where Gutshot is, as I'm going to start slowly heading over there. But heavy ammo can do a ton of damage on this encounter because there are 3 targets. That's the max it can really hit. Technically it's 4. It's the target plus 3. And you're doing 25% more damage, and you're able to basically cleave the entire time, assuming all those hyenas get funneled into the same place. And then I will just throw down my binding shot. That way they kind of stay there. You can use a tar trap, and Gutshot is melting. Like, we didn't have true shot up, but Gutshot is still melting here. We did lose Twisted there, unfortunately. Got munched on by the hyenas, but we're at 30% health on Gutshot already. I have all my true shot, or I have my true shot up. I have all my cooldowns up except for volley, and then now I'm going to go ahead and send the true shot. I'm going to be in my bullseye zone, so I'm going to have literally 100% chance to crit with my main abilities in this. Like, it's literally, you can look at the screen, it's literally 100% chance right now, just because of how much bonus crit that I have in my build that I don't normally carry. But here I still have 7 seconds left on the true shot, so I'm going to try to send on this filth collar. Unfortunately, I realized too late after sending in all this AoE that it's only going to hit the filth collar, because everything else, the witherlings, are down below and did not get a chance to be pulled up here yet. But there, I'm just going to extend that volley damage, and then this is where we're going to see some fun interactions. So all of these wither biters now on both sides, they're connected. So because of that, it pulled the vile Rot Hexer, excuse me. So we did lose Barry there because he got munched on by those ads. Mana is very close as well. We have Barry that's running back. I'm going to go ahead and use some defensives here, and then just continue to spray and do damage and hope that we kill those ads before they kill us. So there, I know I've already committed one of my cooldowns. I'm going to go ahead, and I should have used the Fortitude of the Bear before that, but it does heal you up 20% as well as give you that 20% to your maximum health. Which, by the way, my health pool is like just over 1 million now, which is crazy to think. I go ahead and use my turtle there to dodge that ability, because that would have definitely killed me. And then finish off the War Scourge. And then we're going to go ahead and purge that off there. And then if there is an interrupt that needs to happen, we'll use it there. All right. So at this point of the video, this is where Tipsy recommended that I start playing some stuff. So you're gonna hear it here in just a few minutes, because we did just get mana there, and then what do we have? Okay, well, it's just one mob, right? Oh, no, there's a hyena. And a hyena, and a hyena, and a hyena, and a rot singer, and a decay. And what is happening? Literally, we have no idea where this pat. It had to have been the pat that was there that I thought we were gonna pull. So there, I just start sending stuff because I think we have a chance. We don't. We don't have a chance. So at this point, I have 15 seconds left on my my feign. I'm just trying to save us 5 seconds. That's literally what I'm doing at this point. Am I padding my DPS? Yeah, but I am literally just trying to whittle, or just get my feign death back to save us 5 seconds. Now, that's probably a very valiant thing to think about. However, what I didn't think about, and I did after the fact, look where the team is. These guys are going to pass right in front of the team. So that could have been something that was very dangerous that I could have avoided by just not trying to stay alive. So that is something that you should always consider. But it appeared to be that pat was just a pat, and it just happened to pull a bunch of stuff. It was just so odd, though, that it took so long to get us, and then it started just clipping over to us. And that could cost you a run at a higher level. I think we did a really nice job of recovering from it, because it was just like, what is happening? Because it was just like one after another. They would just clip in, and then they would bring friends. They'd have their +1s and +5s and try to stop us from timing this key. But we didn't let that deter us, even though these bones are doing a pretty good job of deterring me currently. I normally go Mecha Gnome for that. But here, we had a little bit of weirdness when it comes to our enemy forces. We thought that we were going to be close to being done. I don't know all of the force percentages off the top of my head. All I know is we need to hit that magical 100% here. And we are not going to be able to do that with these couple of pulls. So here, we're just going to make sure, I'm just staying back here just so I don't drop the circle on anybody. I'm going to come closer and get into the heal absorption, or the heal on the ground. I appreciate everybody moving for me so I could pop up in there. And I am technically the only pure ranged in the group. So it was nice for them to allow me to pop up there. We did lose Barry there because there was just a lot of really burst damage that he wasn't ready for. And I said that earlier, and he said it after this run, and during the run for that matter. He had not really ever done this particularly. Well, he's done the key, but not as a healer. And so he missed most of Season 2, and so that makes complete sense. And I think he did a really great job in this run. So here we have this pack, and then we have one more pull left to go. So at this point, I'm thinking I need to have my true shot up for the boss. And I'm also, speaking of the boss, I'm not perfect at my timings yet, because you don't really want to send, particularly on Tyrannical, it's fortified this week, but on Tyrannical, you don't want to send everything right away, because you want to be able to use your big abilities and cleave onto the totem. I did a better job in this one than I had in a previous key that we did last week on Tyrannical. And again, I said it in my actual run in comms. It's crazy how much of a difference the health pool is from an 8, because we did this on a 6, and the 6 has significantly more health than this boss did at an 8, which is kind of crazy. So here we're going to pick up this one last War Scourge. So of course this is the guy that has the spin to win, the Garen spin to win, if you will. So you make sure and purge off that ability, and then also interrupt the cackle. So Rage Storm is a priority purge for you on your hunter, as well as the cackle. And then we're just going to turn around and take on the last boss, which is Wratheye. So finishing up War Scourge, I'm looking at my cooldowns. I have everything up except for volley, which does technically pose a problem because I want to be able to cleave. Here I'm going to ask for 3 seconds, and then we pulled anyway. So you see I'm dismissing the pet, and then I'm casting Lust just before the pet goes away. That way you get the Lust, and you don't have the pet out doing less damage than you would thanks to Lone Wolf. So here we're just already, like, we are already in that out of the Hunter's Mark range, and we are already onto the totem. Like, we are melting this guy, like 65% already. Already at sub 60%, and we still have this full True Shot. True Shot does so much damage now that I have the Neltharian's Call to Dominance. I got Omega lucky. Whenever these totems come out, I try to make sure and have a volley for it. Use a defensive when these come out, and then just avoid the frontal. You have 3 defensives plus exhilaration plus your potion, and at this level, and even probably at like a 10 or a 12, that probably doesn't one-shot you with our current health pool, and we'll get a lot more health to come here in the next several weeks. So, like I said, I try to have volley up and volley and explosive shot up for the totems, and it's worth delaying. I still get really into it and just start throwing everything and realizing, you know, after the fact that I probably shouldn't. But all in all, this was an amazing run. I'm so glad I got to share it with you guys. If you made it this far in the video, I really appreciate it. I hope you guys will consider subscribing to me here on YouTube and follow me over at Twitch at twitch.tv/Mr. Eggplant. I'm going to have videos from last week up, but I thought this one was so much fun that I would share it with you guys early. So thank you guys for watching. Best of luck in Mythic Plus, Raid, PvP, whatever you do, and I'll see you next time.